Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, we're going to react to the top 10 most dangerous kids' toys. Like, nowadays, the amount of, checks and balances that are in place, unless a toy contains some kind of new material, there's a very, very low chance of something dangerous ever hitting the shelves of like a large retail store. But back in the day, that clearly wasn't the case. I remember seeing a toy that had like tiny little beads in there, and it was marketed towards like infants. It's like, dude, what are you thinking? If, God forbid, what a kid puts it in his mouth and chokes.
Apply even pressure as you go, and the longer you leave your tool in one place, the deeper and darker the burn will be.
Kids just wanna have fun, but with some toys, that's easier said than done. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 dangerous kids toys. For this list, we're bringing you even more toys that present a serious health and safety risk to the kids they're marketed to. Once again, we're excluding toys that are only dangerous when the age guidelines are ignored. If you didn't see a toy you thought should be on the list, be sure to check out our first video of the top 10 dangerous kids toys.
We toys can see everything. So play nice.
Number 10.
Hasn't, what do you describe it? The animation come a long way. Compare that to what we see nowadays.
Pocket.
Polly Pocket has a stage where she dances ballet. In her shiny tutu, so pretty today. Polly Pocket.
These dolls made a big impression when they first debuted in 1989,
size,
despite their modest height of under 1 inch. Imagine an entire apartment shrunk down to fit into a pocket-sized folding dollhouse, styled as a makeup compact.
Too many small
Add the male
parts,
equivalent playsets Mighty Max, and this line of choking hazards had kids in the 90s eating out of the palm of their hand. These toys were already dangerous enough to warrant teaching your kid the Heimlich maneuver, but the Polly Pocket magnetic playsets, with their magnetic clothing, warranted a full recall in 2006. These dolls were too large to swallow, but the small magnets often fell out, wreaking life-threatening havoc on digestive systems if multiple were ingested. Number 9. Inflatable baby floats.
Otteru turns bath time into moments of fun, exploration, and learning.
There's nothing scarier than a potentially lethal baby product. Parents always need to be extra careful with infants around water, but you can understand how one might let their guard down when placing a child in an inflatable device specifically designed for that purpose. Sadly, a number of baby flotation products have ripped, resulting in the child sinking or being smothered. In 2009, some 4 million units, consisting of various models of the Aqua Leisure baby floats, were recalled after 31 incidences of the seat strap ripping occurred, allowing the baby to fall into the water. In 2015, Otteru floats were recalled after some 50 cases of deflation were reported. Thankfully, neither specific case resulted in death. Number 8. Children.
I'm sorry though, even if you've got your baby in that thing, I'd be watching my kid like a hawk. Unless you've gone off into the other room, how could the baby, in the case of it popping, have enough time to sink to the bottom of the bathtub and drown? If you were there doing what a parent should do, keeping an eye on their baby, you can't just leave the kid. Surely some of those parents had to be leaving the kid alone, which for me is wrong.
Wood burning kits.
We be burning, not concerning what nobody wanna say.
If the word burning is in the name of your
Classic,
product, maybe don't market it to kids. Admittedly, the various companies manufacturing this product have always targeted the outdoorsy, do-it-yourself, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts of America kind of kid. They're the types who generally don't need their toys bubble-wrapped.
I will be teaching you to dig a proper trench.
Sets from the 1950s were notorious for burns and for trusting in the fact that kids would learn responsibility. Modern kits, like those made by educational toy companies like TS Shure and NSI, are more safety-minded. But no amount of safety recommendations can mitigate the potential for burns, or worse, fires. If it can burn a pattern into wood, it can burn plenty of other stuff too.
Yeah.
Number 7, creepy crawlers.
I get it. But it's way too dangerous. Way too. You know, there's going to be kids out there that are going to poke each other with it. Like, come on.
It's the creepy crawler's oven!
It might not exactly be playing with fire, but this creation station still involves high temperatures, and in early models, toxic fumes. Mattel first began producing creepy crawlers in 1964. Sets included die-cast creature molds, a liquid chemical that kids poured into the mold, and a small oven or hot plate to heat the plastic goop into hardened rubbery shapes.
And presto, Chango, you've got fun.
Creepy crawlers got a lot safer in the 1990s, but the early versions consisted of an open-face hot plate that rose to 390 degrees Fahrenheit.
What?
It might not be liquid magma, but that's still blisteringly hot, especially if you
That's an oven. That's as hot as an oven gets usually.
touched the creature before it solidified. Although marketed as non-toxic at the time, that was before we knew the dangers of PVC fumes. Number 6, Austin Magic Pistol.
I can't believe that one ever was marketed towards kids. Yeah, let me give these kids, an oven to play with.
Works on magic crystals.
Doesn't it suck that all the most dangerous toys are also the coolest? This toy gun actually uses combustion. Flames shoot out of it. It's made of metal and totally looks like a ray gun from early sci-fi. While the Austin Magic Pistol might make for a wicked awesome vintage toy when you're in your 20s or older, this circa 1950s toy gun is absurdly dangerous.
You're gonna be fine, baby doll.
Its magic crystals are composed of a mixture of calcium carbide and water, which, with a little help from the sparking trigger, combusts violently. Even in the wild and crazy 50s, it quickly became apparent that this was no toy, resulting in a number of bans.
I mean, come on.
Number 5, Science Whiz Bottle Rocket Party. Listed in the top 10 unsafe toys of 2014 list from parental safety group Watch, this kit gives children everything they need to have a bottle rocket party. It includes the rockets themselves, stoppers, and fun caution tape so you feel like you're at a real rocket launch.
Rockets explode!
What the kit does not include are the safety goggles they recommend on the packaging. The baking soda and vinegar-propelled rockets aren't going to explode, but the projectiles still present a significant risk of eye or facial injury.
Pretty easy, right?
The kit is labeled 8 and up, but you'd be hard-pressed to find any 8-year-old that's gonna wait until they can track down safety goggles before playing with something this cool.
Right.
Number 4, easy.
And I'm sure there's going to be some people, like some of you guys watching this, saying, "Oh, come on, Kabir, like kids are smarter than that." I don't know. Most kids probably are smarter than that. But even if 0.1% of kids isn't smart enough to play with these toys properly, that's still thousands and thousands of children. You just even if you don't do it from a compassionate standpoint, do it from a I don't want to get sued standpoint.
Oven. The Little Lady Empire stove, with its metal frame and up to 600 degrees of heat, might have been the more deadly children's stove. But the Easy Bake Oven has had a much more significant impact since Kenner launched the product in 1963.
Slide 'em in, let 'em bake now. Slide 'em in, slide 'em out, Easy Bake, wow!
Over 25 million units have been sold since, meaning that the average kid likely interacted with one at some point. Most of the 11 models have been totally safe, but 1 or 2 got the recipe wrong. The 2006 version was recalled after 29 reports surfaced of kids getting their fingers caught in the front-loading oven door. Despite the recall, another 249 incidents were reported, one of which ended with a little girl needing a partial finger amputation.
Oh my God.
Number 3, Stats 38.
I mean, just give it up. They kept on bringing out new versions of it despite, kids getting hurt. Just give it up. Make something else.
Folding trampoline. Anything that goes up must come down. And the higher you launch a kid into the air, the greater the risk for injury. This specific trampoline might be mini, but it packs a huge risk factor. Marketed to children 6 and up, it has some serious bounce to it. No safety, no padded handlebar.
Turned out to be too dangerous.
The likelihood of your child losing control and flying into furniture is high. On the packaging, you find the following warning. Quote, landing on the head or neck can cause serious injury, paralysis, or death.
Duh.
If, as a manufacturer, you feel the need to put that on a product you're selling to 6-year-olds, you might have missed the point of age restrictions.
Yeah.
Number
exactly.
2, mini hammock. Inflatable baby boats might be prone to malfunction, but mini hammocks seem as if they were designed specifically to endanger young children. Made from a fine nylon mesh and lacking any sort of spreader bar, these child-sized hammocks were prone to entangling their young users. Most often, this would occur when the child was attempting to get in or out of the hammock. In 1996, the Consumer Product Safety Commission issued a recall and safety warning on 10 different mini hammock brands and models. Most notably the Easy Sales hammock brand, unsafe for use due to a lack of spreader bar. Between 1984 and 1995, there were 12 separate cases of kids becoming trapped in the hammock and dying from asphyxiation.
No.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Jeez, they actually died?
They're flying! Fly for me, just for me, sky represents for me.
So much fun and easy to do, 'cause wherever it goes, it comes back to you.
Number 1, Aqua Dots.
Aqua Dots!
Gotta be choking as
you
right?
create, spray, and play.
Aqua Dots are small, colorful balls that you arrange into patterns or images. Spray the design with water, and they solidify together into a single piece of art to show off to mom or dad. But as we've learned, anything a kid can swallow, they will swallow. These small toy beads, when ingested, caused vomiting, respiratory failure, seizures, and comas. Why?
Scientists say a chemical in the toy becomes a powerful date rape drug if it is swallowed.
What?
Aqua Dots contained a compound that when consumed breaks down into GHB, the notorious date rape drug. The product was pulled from shelves after 3 separate toddlers fell into comas. The parents of one toddler, who suffered permanent brain damage, won their court case against the manufacturers, distributors, and toy designers, each company being assigned partial blame for the tragedy.
You'll also get 150 Aqua Glow Dots that light up
How
in
did
dark
they not
spots.
know that, though?
Do you agree with our list?
I mean,
what dangerous toys do you...
The company that made the Aqua Dots, Aqua Ducks, whatever it was called, how do you not know that if ingested, there's a chemical in there that turns into a drug that puts people in comas? Like, don't these companies have to do like thorough research before the products are allowed to be sold, or can they just sell them like and hope for the best? Maybe at that time they didn't. That's just insane to me that they wouldn't know that, because you're opening yourself, like, just pay for the research, because I'm sure it would have been much cheaper for them compared to what they had to pay out. That to me is just massive negligence. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.